Hey beauty lovers and fellow entrepreneurs, I'm Yegi, the owner and founder of Yegi Beauty. Within 5 years of being my own boss, I was able to grow Yegi Beauty into a multi-million-dollar company. This podcast is where I share what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in the beauty industry. What's up, guys? I hope your week is going amazing. I've been asked many times and people reach out and tell me, hey, how are you managing the kids and the work-life balance? And I've touched on it a little bit on episodes with other guests, but I don't think I've ever shared my full experience with you guys. So this episode is for my mamas out there who need a little bit of encouragement and to know that it's going to be okay and things will go back to a normal or a new normal. It does take a little bit of time and adjustments to find our new balance with having the kids and also wanting to have a career. So I'll share a little bit of what I went through and what kind of kept me going. First of all, let me start off by saying that it is okay to not be okay. I think a lot of times we are so hard on ourselves and we don't take the time to just not be okay. This episode's about having kids and going through that transition and also wanting to focus on your career. Even if it's something else in life that comes up, we need to take some time to really process those feelings of not being okay if that's where we are currently in life. And then when we're ready, then we move on. First of all, just tell yourself it is okay to not be okay. And I can't say that enough because I had to tell myself that many times when I was going through the part of all these changes. You know, having the second kid really threw me down a lot because it was just a lot bigger load of the personal life and being responsible for 2 little kids under 2 years old and also a whole baby, which is my business, right? With that said, I had to remind myself that it's okay. Even if the business is not going the way I want it to go currently, it's only temporary. All I can do is focus on my now and take it day by day until I get okay. Until I realized and I really kept on telling myself that it's okay to not be okay and it is temporary. It didn't give me like that feeling of that's okay, right? So that's what you need to be doing if you feel like you don't have control of your life. Because to be honest, that's how I was feeling initially when I had my second kid. With the first one, for some reason, I didn't have as hard of a time. I don't know, maybe my hormones didn't get messed up as much, or maybe it was just one and I was better at managing that. It was the timing. I don't know. But currently when I had my second one, she's about 9 months now. So it took me 9 months, about maybe 8. This last month, I'm okay a little. Maybe it took me about 8 months in order for me to kind of feel like I have control over my life again. The older one, who's 2, is going to preschool. He's always getting us sick. You hear my voice. That also threw things off. And again, I have to remind myself, it's okay not to be okay for a moment and just take some time to really process my feelings of what's going on, manage whatever I can that is under my control, and whatever is not in my control, just let it go and let it kind of play out how it's going to play out. That was the conclusion, but I'm telling you, I don't know what, but after the second kid, I had a lot of downtime and that was new for me. You know, I can handle a lot. I could do a lot. You know, a lot of us that are career oriented or driven and have businesses that we're running or even just our regular jobs that we love and we're committed to have a hard time not working. So that was also kind of part of it too. It was hard for me to be so away from my regular routine of day to day and finding a new routine that included me being responsible for 2 other little ones. So this is a reminder. It's going to get better. It's going to be okay. And it's okay not to be okay. I can't say that enough with anything. Take your time and feel the emotions. If you're sad, if you're angry, if you're mad, just really feel those emotions. Again, this is what worked for me. I took some time to really just isolate myself from everything. So I stepped away from my kids, from my husband, from my house, from my business, from my parents, everybody. So I stepped away and I kind of arranged everything for everybody to take care of each other and help each other out, where I can have a moment to really sit down and just really figure out, okay, what do I really feel out of control of over now? And what is one immediate thing I can do to kind of open up my schedule or feel better and feel like I have more control over my life. And one of the things was actually fully sleep training my 2-year-old. Going through that transition really just opened up so much more time and energy for me, because now I could sleep through the night, so I can have more energy and everything's a lot better. Sometimes it's simple when you say it like this, but when we're going through these things in our lives, it's hard to put our finger on it because we're so busy juggling so much, or we're just so tired, or we're just angry or sad, and we have all these emotions and we don't know how to process it. The thing that worked for me is really just figuring out a way to get alone, even if it's just 1 hour that I can find for myself, to really like come up with a game plan of what's going to make me feel better, to have more control. And after that, little by little, everything started feeling better, so we decided to take my 2-year-old to daycare. That opened up some time and some energy. Sometimes these decisions could be really hard for a parent too, because, you want to be more there and more present with your kid. But there is a way that you can arrange your life that works best for you and for your kid and what you really want, right? And then if it's anything else too in your personal life that's taking up a lot of your energy, and you feel like maybe I'm spending a lot of time on, I don't know, this certain task that I'm doing daily, but is it really necessary? Can I cut that out? And for me, something was simple, like folding the laundry. So I cut that out. That's very time consuming. So now it could sit in a pile in our little laundry room, and that's okay for a little bit, right? And then once I feel like I can have more time and more control over my life a little bit more, then I can add that extra task that I want into the life. I think, again, the main thing was really figuring out what's really important for me to get done or to have control over, and then letting everything else go and knowing that it's okay and certain things are temporary. I'll slowly build back the routine and the life that I want for my, day to day. But for me, it was important to find a way to actually come into the office so I can work on my dreams and my goals and my business. So I was able to do that, again, slowly but surely, by slowly letting go of certain things, being okay with arranging school or my parents or my husband's mom to babysit the kids when I could be in the office, but also blocking off some time for me to spend quality time with them. So then, that mom guilt thing is so true. So if I do work a lot, then I ended up feeling guilty for not spending time with them. So then I made an additional plan to really just block out at least 2 days a week. If Sunday, definitely. And then a lot of times one weekday where things aren't that crazy out there, and I could fully spend a full day quality time with my kids doing whatever that I want to do with them to really bond and, have fun with them. I think having control or protecting our schedule and calendar and really scheduling everything in, it really helped me feel like I have more control over the whole situation. And a lot of people have reached out to me. They're like, oh, how do you do it? You're a superhuman. How do you manage the kids and this? And then the business is all on you. And then you also have this and that. How do you do it? And honestly, I think it's just one little thing at a time. But at times sometimes I feel super lost and out of control over my day or my week. And that's okay. At the moment it feels horrible, but I remind myself that's okay. For example, last week we all got sick and it kind of kept on repeating. I don't know what's this cold or virus. There's so many things going on. Everybody's sick all the time. And, having a little toddler going to daycare, they share everything and they put everything in their mouth. So we've been getting sick a lot. So that's been kind of a game changer. But last week we actually had to kind of go down. We were really sick. And being sick and taking care of sick kids is really hard because you don't have time to rest. And I was like, oh, hold on. How do we do this? We need help, right? So that was another thing that I learned is know when to ask for help and accept help. And sometimes we think we don't have any options, who's gonna wanna help me? But in reality, if you really think about it, there are people in your life that will be willing to help you with certain things that can help save you time and energy. Even if it's a friend coming over for 1 hour so you can nap, or your kids spending the night at grandma's house so you can get a full night's sleep and you can actually feel rested, where you can be a better parent when you are present with your kids. Even for me, like if I need to sacrifice certain things like shopping for certain items and me having that money to hire somebody to clean my house or have a babysitter for me to be able to do all my errands, that's something that I definitely try to do. So I think anything that can buy you time is what I really learned to do in order for me to handle more and manage more. And like I said, be okay to accept help, right? We all always say, oh, I wish I had help, I need help. But a lot of times we're scared that people are going to say no, and we don't even ask for help. I think those are the two main things. Really try to find out what's really bothering you that you don't have control. And then the second thing is ask for help when you need. Really think about and plan and see how you can get rid of some tasks for you so you can have more free time. Not even necessarily free time, but for some time for you to do the things that you really want to do and feel back to normal, Like having control over your life and your schedule and everything is one main thing. And these are kind of what I went through. And it was kind of a shock for me as well, honestly, because like I said, I've been really good at managing my time, my schedule. I've worked on it for years. So I thought I mastered it. But again, something new, like a child, or in our lives, it could be anything else. Even getting sick for a week totally throws us off. Every single person feels like they don't have control at certain times. But like I said, it's going to be okay. So hang in there. All right. Transitioning into my second thing, honestly, the second main thing with that I went through with having the kids is really feeling myself. The first one, again, I don't know why it felt easier with my first one. With the second one, and they say with every kid postpartum, everybody has a different experience. And I think this is really good, not even only after having kids. For those of you that don't have kids, anytime there's a major life-changing event, God forbid, it could be a loss in your family, it could be a parent or somebody moving back in with you, it could be you losing a job, changing a job. It could be any major life-changing event. It really throws us off. So I think this episode really can relate to anybody who's really feeling like there was a change or something that threw them off and they need to find a way to gain control over themselves and their lives. But going back to specifically for me, besides having less time and figuring out how to manage an extra person within my household and trying to run my business and have, enjoy my day-to-day, because that's important to me. I don't want to just barely get by and be exhausted and be unhappy, but still get everything done. I want to enjoy the process. Even me being a parent, my kids aren't going to grow up happy and secure and confident if they see me not feeling that way, feeling unhappy or tired or not confident because I haven't had time to maintain myself, even if it's something like doing my hair or my makeup or getting dressed. So all of that, I think initially we may feel guilty to take care of ourselves and have self-care, but in the long run, that's also helping the people around us, especially our kids, if we do have kids. That was another major thing that I was having trouble with the second one. To be honest, like my body changed. Thank God. Overall, I'm still very grateful. I'm blessed. Like, for example, I didn't gain a lot of weight, but I didn't like the changes that went on my upper chest area, right? So with breastfeeding and everything, it was a shock for me. My breasts changed and I didn't like looking at them. And I didn't think that would bother me that much because, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But anytime something that we're sacrificing for someone else, and in this case was for my kids, weirdly enough, it was bothering me a lot. I lost a lot of my hair. I think I also, after the postpartum, after the breastfeeding, I also got COVID for the first time at that point, and I had lost a lot of my hair. I don't know if it was because of the kids plus COVID altogether, but I lost so much hair. So my hair, from feeling like it was thick when I could hold it, it got very thin. And again, that's my appearance, but that's also what contributes to my happiness or my confidence for me in order to love the way I look. So I wake up and look at myself and I'm happy, and then I can, have a positive day. I really believe in that. And we've talked about that in different episodes. Like, we need to wake up and do what it takes for us to feel like we love ourselves and we love looking at ourselves in order for us, again, to feel confident and do positive things in our day and in our life and in our careers. And, for some people, if you want to change the world, you need to first feel happy and confident yourself if you want to help other people accomplish that as well. Another thing in regards to my image that I wasn't loving at the moment too is I had actually lost too much weight. I didn't like how flat I was feeling. And it's also because I had stopped working out because I didn't have time. I was on bed rest when I was pregnant, and when I had the baby, I didn't have time. So I toned down, and that was bothering me, right? So all these little things were adding up. Me not having time to do my nails, my hair, and my regular maintenance things like certain facials I couldn't get when I was pregnant and breastfeeding. So it all adds up. I think I'm a very confident and very strong person, but I had weak moments, and it was okay for me to accept that and find a way to change it. Besides having not control over my life, and then me going through this image changes because of the postpartum, it was making me feel really not myself. And when I wasn't feeling myself, I couldn't be as confident, as strong, as motivated, as much of a go-getter, and for me to really push and grow the business. I was more, I guess, overall sad or concerned about my appearance instead. So then once I realized that was also something that was bothering me, because at first I didn't realize, it didn't hit me, right? Because overall, like everything was okay. But then once I paid attention, I'm like, why am I feeling so like, ugh, I have no words. I was just feeling like, ugh. So then I realized, okay, it's all these little things about that my image that have changed that I don't like right now, that I don't feel confident or happy about. So then sure enough, it goes back to the scheduling and managing one thing after another. I made up my nail appointment. I said, you know what, everybody, I need help babysit my kids, babe. You're staying home from work or whatever we need to do. These are actually tasks that we're getting pushed out because technically they're not priority and they're not that important initially when you think about it. It's not life-changing, but then if you really think about it, it really is life-changing because it is affecting you, right? And that's why I think over the years, self-care has been so important, mental and physical, emotional. So we want to make sure we work on and love the way we look and we feel, and also the way we think in our heads, right? So then if you also need help with a counselor to talk to someone to feel mentally stable, we should all definitely go and get that help, right? Or if talking to a friend or anything like that works too. Make sure you're regularly socializing in order to get that human connection and, venting session, whatever else you need to do. Anyway, so going back to my story. So then again, I arranged things and I tried to set up one appointment after another, have a little time for myself. To be honest, I haven't had time to get back on my regular workout routine, but maybe once a week I'm able to go for a walk in the mornings. I throw one of the kids on the strollers and I go for a quick walk, and that's helping, right? So anything you can do to alter and that's going to make you feel good, definitely work on that. I think for the most part right now, I have better control over my life, but things I know are going to happen. And I do like the way I look and I feel again, which is huge for me. That means I could be happy and confident and try to push through and grow the business or take over the world or whatever craziness I want to do. We're always going to have ups and downs. We're always going to have life-changing events that slows us down, and it is okay. It's okay for us to take our time and slowly get there, because also we're never going to get this time back, okay? Everybody keeps reminding me about, the kids being so young. They're like, you're going to miss these days. I'm like, am I? Am I really going to miss the days when they didn't let me sleep and they're sick all the time and they're crying and yelling and all that fun stuff? But I know I am. Honestly, I know it because they're so cute and I love them and I just want to squeeze them all the time. And sometimes I just want to, leave and just be with them. I guess the key takeaway from what I've learned and when I talk to a lot of people too is just in life, we really have to live in the moment. And I think I've learned that a long time ago and I've applied it and everything was always great. Then I had this life-changing event. I was automatically kind of using that mindset to live in the moment and just enjoy even the craziness, even if it's crazy right now, to enjoy that craziness until things get to where you want to get them to. But I needed the reminder, and the reminder was for myself to again be like, stop worrying about what you're going to do with the business in the future, what you're trying to work for. Focus on enjoying the day-to-day, and then you can continue like making impact. So do whatever you can in that one day and don't waste your day. Don't sit down and ponder and be sad and depressed or that you can't get everything done. Just focus on one action item at a time, if it's personal, if it's work, and that will help you get through it too. So that's kind of what helped me to get through the crazy times in my life. We can't waste time. Time is very valuable. Time is something we can never ever get back. And again, this is a reminder for all of us out there that may be struggling a little bit to find control of ourselves and our lives and feel at our best. And I think this is a good reminder before all the other crazy holidays, because half the people love the holidays and half the people, honestly, I do want to address this, they get sad or they get reminded of all the shortcomings throughout the year that maybe they were hoping to accomplish through the year, and the year's done and they're not where they want to be. It could be personal. You may be wanting to be in a relationship or have a kid, or it may be finishing a certain degree or going back to school, and maybe some things didn't work out the way you planned them to. I want to remind you guys that's okay, and you're not alone, and we all go through things in a way where maybe we're not expecting it. Again, in my life, many times over and over again, it's been proven to me that everything happens for a reason. And if we just hold on and really try our best, again, to live in the moment and do our best every single day, even if it's one item that's going to make you feel better or help you accomplish your goal, it's going to add up and everything's going to fall into place. And again, even when I feel my weakest and it's kind of hard for me to have that faith, I remind myself, this has happened to me at least 3 times, 3 major events, and 3 times when I felt like things were falling apart or not going according to my plans. At the end of it, it had a reason, and there was a reason for me to use that and pivot in order for everything to work out even better. Right? So sometimes unless we let go of something that's not working, we're not going to be able to have the opportunity for that new thing that's going to be better. Anyways, I can talk about this stuff forever. I hope you guys are enjoying this topic. I think it's very necessary. Sometimes people like me, a lot of times in the online world too, I seem like I always have control over myself, my life. Everything's always perfect. But I do want to share that no, there are times, certain periods in my life, and I think every single person, that I feel like no matter how good of a organizer or a time manager or a entrepreneur I am, there are times I feel totally out of control, and that's okay. Anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope this helps you go through whatever you're going through, and just know that everything's gonna be okay. Take it day by day and do everything you can in that one day only. Don't worry about the future. The future will come when it comes, and you'll deal with it when it's here. And don't worry about the past. It's already the past. There's nothing you can do about it. By worrying about it, by wishing you did something different, is not going to change anything. There's no way. Take everything at face value of what it is right now and make your plan of what you can do today in order to make it go towards the way you want it to go. Anyways, I'm a big believer that we can have our dream lives. We can have a perfect life with little bumps in the road. We just have to constantly work on it and make it as perfect for ourselves as possible. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of the month. Happy Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you guys by then. Until next time, bye. Thank you for listening. Please rate and review this podcast. Follow and engage with us on social media under the Yegi Project. And if you're interested in being a guest, email info@theyegiproject.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes.